agreement. I just say that this Monday was July 4th in the United States of America. We have the privilege of celebrating, though still a young country, 240 years of independence. And I begin with that thought because there is a deep connection between the ideals celebrated in the United States on July 4th and the goals that Ukrainians have displayed so clearly that they share with us. The American Declaration of Independence lists specific grievances that were settled long ago. But the founding principles, frankly, remain as relevant today as ever before. A simple thought, but a beautiful thought, that all men and women are created equal, and that all are endowed with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The same or similar expressions are included in the freedom declarations of many countries now. And nowhere is that quest for liberty and dignity more immediate or more compelling than here in Ukraine. 2.5 years ago, thousands of Ukrainians took to Maidan Square in an historic moment of a demand for sovereign and democratic country that they wanted and deserved. And I will personally never forget walking down Institutska Street in March of 2014 and seeing the barricades, seeing the tires, the barbed wire, the bullet holes in the street lamps, and the photographs that had been put up in a makeshift memorial to all of those who put their lives on the line for the future of this country. Americans know from our own history that the democratic road is filled with obstacles and that the journey is not completed overnight. But Ukraine's democratic potential is far brighter today, now, than it was even since my last visit in February of 2015. Since I was last here, Ukrainians have a new patrol police, which we are privileged to have been helpful in the State Department in helping to develop. A new National Anti-Corruption Bureau, greater transparency in their government, laws that have been passed to try to help the transition from state-owned enterprise to private sector, important efforts in the energy sector, other reforms have been put in place. In just the past 70 days, the Rada has approved constitutional amendments to reinforce judicial independence, eliminate wasteful subsidies, and to begin implementing a broad civil service reform. In any country, anywhere, at any time, that's a pretty significant agenda and a pretty significant set of accomplishments. But here, where there still continues to be difficulties with respect to security, it's even more profound a statement of purpose and of commitment and of accomplishment. So Ukraine is undeniably moving forward. But I think we all agree that the job isn't done. More has yet to be done to strengthen Ukraine's democracy. And the imperative of reform was one of the major themes of our discussion today. And I want to thank President Poroshenko and his team for their thoughtful consideration of the steps yet to be taken and for their commitment to take those steps. With the President and other leaders today, I am discussing Ukraine's efforts to clean up the Prosecutor General's office and the judicial system, to tackle corruption and break the oligarchic stranglehold, to stay the course with the IMF, to strengthen Ukraine's financial system, to privatize the economy, and to improve the business climate, to attract capital because of all of those other reforms that are taking place. Everybody knows that those who invest for the purpose of, yes, doing good, but also to try to make money. And so the ease with which they can invest, the transparency with which they can invest, the accountability that exists, all of that helps to attract the investment that is so critical to the growth of the economy. But let me point out that contrary to many predictions, because of the difficult decisions that President Poroshenko and his team have made, Ukraine is growing today. Its economy, unlike other economies in the region, is growing. And the prognosis for growth next year is even double what it is today. So that indicates the positive reactions that come from difficult political choices.